the addition of Jaire Alexander to Baltimore. Smitty and I will have a debate later. He thinks that, the Super Bowl contender again. I think he's this older guy who's injury prone, who just
he ain't
that old. Why you keep saying that?
He's been injury prone.
That's what makes you old, though, in the NFL. Like,
I don't
be honest.
But
he's
28.
If
you get a guy that is available every week, you are getting a Pro Bowl level cornerback. And overall, if you look at the moves they've made in that secondary, Malachi Starks, they got Hamilton back there.
28-year-old corners aren't young.
Let Steve cook, man. Keep going, Steve.
But hold on. Again, this guy could blow out a toenail tomorrow for all I know. But I'm saying is the assumption is, and Baltimore is a really good organization. They're not paying him $30 million here.
They're not. This 1 year.
Team-friendly deal.
And
the upside is great here for Baltimore.
Great.
Listen,
the guy is playing for his next contract. So you're going to have a motivated guy that understands, look, I can extend my career, make some more money, or I can get a real job. That's great.
Listen, I don't believe it hurts the team at all, obviously.
He's amazing.
I don't believe it hurts them at all, but I don't believe it makes them into a Super Bowl contender. Like
they were already Super Bowl contender anyway without him. That's what you're missing, Jason.
Yeah, Smitty, they're a top 5 team, Smitty. I agree with you. Right now, if you said the power rankings of the National Football League, Baltimore would be top 5.
Got to. Has to be. Has to be, right, Steve? Common sense will tell you that.
Well, again, to your point, Coach, that doesn't mean anything in January.
Of
There's
course.
still some pressure on a certain, but if you said in terms of roster, organization, and where they are right now, they are a top 5 team in the National Football League.
Just a fact. Remove all emotions. Remove all emotions and look at the team for what it is. You can't disagree with that, JB. Steve's on point today. He's cooking.
Smitty, you are not the one to talk about emotion. Number one, you pick this fucking team to win the Super Bowl every year, and then you say facts. Then you say facts.
Consistency.
Thank you, Mr. Kim. Thank you.
Steve, it only goes to hard Baltimore when his shitty Colts take a big-time left-handed shit and they figure out that AR5 is a quarterback. That's when he goes over.
But I'm still consistent. Regardless, I'm consistent.
He goes like this. He goes from Naptown and he goes north, east, and ends up in Baltimore because Lamar Jackson's over there.
I'm a Colts fan and a Lamar Jackson fan. Point blank. There's nothing confusing about that. Come on, Steve.
Yeah, I'm Baltimore. Look, putting aside any emotion,
yes,
Baltimore is a threat. When you start thinking, who are the teams that could realistically win a Super Bowl? Baltimore may not be your first choice, but they shouldn't be your 10th either.
Talk about it.
The top 5.
Steve a bad boy. When it comes to sports talk, Steve Kim, he might not be your first choice, but he definitely ain't number 10. Yeah, he top 5. So I trust his word.
Steve, unless Trent Dilfer's walking through those doors, there ain't never winning a Super Bowl.
First of all, you're making it sound like he was the reason.
Right.
The reason they won the Super Bowl was a young man out of Lakeland, Florida.
Woo!
The greatest linebacker who ever played this game, Raymond Anthony Lewis.
Well, I was hoping for you to make this point. Because the reason that the Ravens won't win a Super Bowl is because of Lamar Jackson. So I'm glad you made that point. I want to make that point. I just want to make that point.
Have a good one, Steve. Are you doing the show today? I'm sorry. I can't listen to that. That's crazy.
I just want to make that point, Steve. I'm glad you made it full circle. I'm glad you made it full circle.
But Smitty, to be fair, all windows close eventually. Lamar still isn't in his prime. That's not an old team in Baltimore. They're right there where you got to kind of get home. You got to, like, the same thing with Buffalo. Although Buffalo's kind of adjusted their team a little bit.
Yeah.
And I still don't like Buffalo's outside offensively. I don't. Okay, no matter what their GM says. But Baltimore, one of these years, and the time, look, again, it's like the sands of time. Once you turn it over, you can never get back time.
Yep.
But that sand glass it's not empty, but it's not full anymore either. You got to get home one of these years if you're Baltimore and Lamar.
I agree. I think Peyton Manning finally got over the hump in year 7. Took a while, but he did it. So,
Yeah, I would definitely be recruiting him for the gold medal flag football league because he would be the best quarterback for that league, particularly.
The man's won multiple MVP.
Should have been a 3-time. He's the future Hall of Famer, homie.
Don't go after Mahomes, dog. You got to go after Lamar for that quarterback.
Put respect on Lamar's name, Jason.
Lamar would be unbelievable in flag football in this gold medal. You know, if they want to win the gold, he's got it. You got to go get Lamar.
Anything football, he's amazing. I agree with you. Flag 7-on-7, NFL, college. He was a Heisman. He was a bad boy. In every level of football, he's been great.
Let's get him to that flag league, man. Let's get him there, man. That's what I think. That's what.
You so disrespectful. You so disrespectful.
Why? I'm just telling you the truth.
Lamar, if you see this, make sure. Hey, Perry, if you cut this, cut it the right way. Lamar, I don't agree with nothing that Jason Brown is saying. Make that clear.